This is Will Tennyson, and for the next 24 hours, I'm going to be putting his new cookbook, Strip Down and Get Cooking, to the test. Let's find out if it's worth it. Now, right away, what I love about this book is one, there's about 69 different recipes in there, and that is no accident. I see what you did there, Will. And these recipes are split up into 6 different categories. We have wake and bake, morning quickies, afternoon delights, throat warm-ups, feeding the family, and sweet and salty treats. It's called Strip Down and Get Cooking for a reason. The apron is ironed, the shirt is off, and let's get into recipe number 1. Now, morning quickies happen to be my specialty. That's in and out of the kitchen. And this first recipe is called the 3-minute breakfast sandwich. And it's not the only thing I can finish in 3 minutes. Ingredients for this, you're gonna be needing some English muffins, eggs, some Black Forest ham, shredded cheddar cheese, chives, and salt and pepper. Pretty simple ingredient list, nothing too crazy. And with that being said, let's get cooking. Now, for this recipe, you would think it would just be combining everything together to make an egg sandwich, but Will actually has a very special method here. So first things first is actually taking my English muffin, putting this on the pan. I have the pan on a medium to low heat, and then he actually calls to crack the eggs right next to the English muffin. I've never actually cooked eggs like this before or made a sandwich like this, but it does make everything super convenient to have it all just kind of cooking in the pan. I mean, this is supposed to be ready in 3 minutes, so. Then he actually says to puncture the yolks with a spatula. I'm using this wooden spoon. And then while everything is cooking right here, go ahead and season the eggs with some salt, some pepper, some chives as well. Now, I've never actually put chives on my eggs before, but we're about to see how it goes. Wow, and these smell actually fantastic. While these are cooking, Will also leaves a little bit of a side note in here. He says, don't worry about sleeping through your alarm. This morning quickie is guaranteed to finish before you can even reach the final verse of your fave T Swift track. Now, I'm not much of a Taylor Swift fan, but at least we know what Will is listening to in the gym. Now, right before the eggs are about to finish cooking, you go ahead and take your English muffin and place it right on top of those eggs and try not to burn your fingers. Wow. After taking them off the pan, I'm gonna hit it with some of this cheese. I definitely should have put this on while it was cooking, but there are no rules in the kitchen. The recipe also calls for around 3 slices of Black Forest ham right on top. I actually like putting the ham while it's cold on there and the eggs are warm, so it kind of just balances everything out. And then just cover it up right there. And there we have a nice orgy of meat, cheese, and egg. And that was done pretty quick. Let's give this a taste test and see how this is. I mean, it's quick, it's easy, it's high in protein, low in calorie, not to mention also delicious. Now this makes around 2 English muffins, and the total calories for both of them would be 425 calories with 36 grams of protein. So far, in terms of convenience, taste, overall nutritional value, this right here definitely suffices. What I love about the cookbook is that it not only has some recipes that you can, really take your time with, cook and prepare, but also some things that are just quick and easy and practical for most people. For those that work like a normal job in a rush in the morning, you don't really have a lot of time, this is perfect for that. And if you don't like egg sandwiches, then unfortunately you are out of luck. That was recipe number 1, and I will see you guys in recipe number 2. Now, if you love Chick-fil-A, but it happens to be a Sunday, then I have good news. This recipe is for you. This is from the afternoon delight section in the cookbook, and this is the spicy, crispy chicken sandwich. Step 1 is in a large resealable plastic bag. Add buttermilk, paprika, garlic powder, salt, and pepper with your chicken breasts and leave it in there for at least 2 hours or ideally overnight. Now, thankfully, I have already done that. The next part of this recipe is to actually powder your meat. So in here we have 1 cup of all-purpose flour with garlic powder, paprika, salt, and pepper. Same thing we put into the bag with buttermilk. Which leads us to our next step, and that is actually plating the chicken and throwing it in the oven or the air fryer. Now the recipe calls it for the air fryer, but I'm actually just gonna throw it in the oven here. I know for some people out there, you don't have an air fryer, an oven will do. I'm gonna throw it in the oven at 375 for about 30 to 35 minutes or so, and that should be good. 1 chicken breast and 2 chicken breasts. Make sure these things are covered with that flour. You don't want a non-crispy chicken sandwich. You want the crispy chicken sandwich. And into the oven these go. Again, that's at 375 for roughly 30 to 35 minutes. I'm gonna let those cook, and I will see you guys for the next portion of the recipe. Alrighty, so the next part, as the chicken breast is almost done cooking, is that we're going in here with a little bit of a spread. In this bowl, we have Greek yogurt, light mayo, hot sauce, some Cajun seasoning, and a garlic powder. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a stir right here. And we're throwing all of this on a lovely brioche hamburger bun. Once all that is done, it's time to build the sandwich. I have to admit, these look absolutely lovely. I'm a big fan of spicy chicken sandwiches, and to know that you can get one that's low in calorie, high in protein, and just meets all of your health needs, this is probably gonna be one of my favorite recipes in the book. One thing I will say about Will is that he knows how to use his seasonings. I mean, I'm doing onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, paprika. I'm more like a salt and pepper kind of guy, and that's about it. You know, Will really knows how to work it. The recipe also calls for pickles as well. I thought I had pickles here when I was at the grocery store, so I didn't pick anything up. And it turns out I don't. But pickles in here would be a very nice addition. Especially this sauce right here. It's high in protein. You're using Greek yogurt as like the base of it, including some of that flavor from the mayonnaise, and then that spice from the hot sauce. It all just works so well. Is this as good as a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A or Popeyes that's just drenched in seed oils and full of MSG? Not quite, but it's a great alternative. Total calories would be 570 calories as well as 55 grams of protein. One thing I like about the cookbook is that Will only really includes what he stands by. He's a big advocate of only just keeping track of calories and protein, and that's the only macronutrient that you get from the nutritional facts within the cookbook. It says right there, calories and protein. This was recipe number 2, and I will see you guys in recipe number 3. Now for this next recipe, I f***ed up. You see, the connection between my mic and the camera was just like the connection in my previous relationship, and that was non-existent. I have all the video footage for this recipe, but just not the audio. So if you want to know what the recipe is actually like, just get the cookbook. But let's find out how it tastes. Now, they say do not judge a book by its cover, and that would be the case here for this twice baked potato. This is by far the worst looking recipe I have tried to make from the cookbook so far. But looks aside, let's just see how it tastes. Believe it or not, it actually tastes a lot better than it looks. This is my first time actually having a twice loaded baked potato, and I have to say, it's pretty darn good. Is it better than just a regular baked potato? I would say so, yes. You see, the beautiful thing about this recipe is that you can really customize it how you want to. You can add bacon bits in there, maybe throw in different vegetables, add different seasonings if you like to. You know, really make it your own. And for this, it's actually extremely low calorie. We have 276 calories for 14 grams of protein. I mean, you have 2 of them here for a little over 500 calories and 28 grams of protein. Super filling, low in calorie. Job well done, Will. That has been all of the savory recipes. We're gonna do one more recipe, and it's gonna be a dessert. I'm gonna eat this, and I will see you guys in the last and final recipe of the day. Alrighty, so for the last and final meal that I made from Will Tennyson's cookbook, we went with the apple fritter. Now, this is something that I did not make on camera because I've actually already made this recipe before in the past. I've been following Will now for a couple years, and he made this apple fritter recipe, I mean, years ago on his channel. And that's one of the other beautiful things about the cookbook is that a lot of these recipes that he puts in them, he's already made on his channel for free. So even though if you don't want to spend the money for the cookbook, a lot of these recipes are already on his channel for free if you just go and watch the video. Makes it a little bit more convenient though to have everything kind of laid out there for you, as well as the cookbook also includes videos to cook alongside Will as well, just in case you want a little bit more of a visual demonstration. Now, before I say if it's worth it or not, let's give this apple fritter a little bit of a taste test here. It's been a while since I made that, and it is still delicious. Now, is the cookbook worth it? I think so. It's $50, comes with a PDF, ton of value in it, all the recipes there. I mean, 69 different recipes, as well as videos to go along with it. And if you love Will and want to support him, it's a great way to do it as well. I'm a big fan of his, been following him for a while. I was happy to get the book, happy to make this video on it. Nothing bad to say about it whatsoever. I'm gonna eat not only this apple fritter, but probably some more recipes in the future as well. I'm wrapping the video up here. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. It's been your boy Joe. Peace.